Emmett Till's death was the beginning of a movement that would encourage people to make a change that would reduce racism and discrimination of a race to a minimum and turn the United States of America into a more fair and merciful place for all people that suffered and lived in pain because of how unequal the world was before Emmett Till. The future of humankind and ethics was impacted because of the difference his unjust trial made in society. Emmett Till was beaten up brutally and then shot in the head by two white men, Roy Bryant and J.W. Millen. They were not fairly punished, and since Emmett Till was a black boy and the killers were white, the judge decided not to make another trial. According to the article Trial Tomorrow Invoice Murder, which didn't give Emmett the justice he deserved. They after confessed, and their confession was written in the article The Shocking Story of a Proved Killing in Mississippi.
Emmett Till was born on July 25, 1941, Chicago, Illinois, United States of America.
This is how the story begins, and it all started with a single whistle directed to a white woman.
Emmett Till was a normal, innocent boy that didn't know the consequences that would happen if he did something against the white people. According to the article, The Shocking Story of a Proved Killing in Mississippi, Emmett Till was with some other black kids when they went to a store where a white black-haired woman was. Emmett was dared, without any bad intentions, by one of his friends to ask on a date a white woman, which in this case was Carolyn. He was dared because he was bragging about how good he was when flirting with white women. Emmett wasn't aware that he wasn't safe there and didn't know the problems of flirting with a white woman. He whistled to the woman, and this whistle made the white woman, Carolyn Holloway Bryant, feel uncomfortable and disgusted, so she took out a gun to scare him and went towards Emmett. The news spread, and both of Emmett's future murderers, Roy Bryant and J.W. Millam, found out.
Roy Bryant and Millam went to the preacher's house where his nephew, Emmett Till, was staying. The visit of the two men was not a surprise for the preacher, since he was aware about the conflict. According to the article, two Negroes testified in Till kidnap case. Even Till was scared and wanted to go home after the incident because he knew something would happen. And even though he looked like a man, he was just a kid and he had the right to make a mistake.
In that period of time, people thought of blacks as if they were a threat and if they were mean and disgusting and had diseases that only they had. Black people were hated by white people without them having done anything bad or detrimental to them in any way. African American people were judged and considered as bad people. Why? Because of their skin color, which has nothing to do with what they have done, what they will do, or how their personality is. As humans, we should be fighting for equality. We were born the same, and we will die the same. White people were born black, and they deserve justice and no judgment or bias because of their color.
During the funeral of Emmett Till in September the 3rd of 1955, his mother insisted in having an open casket during the funeral so that everybody could see what was done to her poor son. Even though there was not going to be an open casket, she managed to convince the authorities to allow it, so that everybody could see the gruesome disfigurement of Emmett's face. 1 out of 3 people had to be carried away from the casket because they would pass out after seeing Emmett's disfigured corpse, stated security.
Evidence necessary for convicting on a murder charge was lacking. The Memphis Commercial Appeal said before the killers confessed, according to the article The Shocking Story of a Proved Killing in Mississippi. This is an example of the racism that was happening in the United States at the time. Blacks were not given the same opportunities and benefits as the whites. Being black in the 1955 meant
no respect,
No equality,
and no justice.
I believe that the whole United States is mourning with me, and that the death of my son can mean something to the other unfortunate people all over the world, then for him to have died a hero would mean more to me than for him just